Hey everyone. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the magic line, and I mentioned this in a previous video, and it's a really old technique of how to kind of sculpt the face, and it's one I learned 13 years ago, maybe 12, 13 years ago. It was called the magic line when I learned it, so that's what I'm going to call it today. With the aid of visuals, I'm going to show you how to go about creating this, because the best thing about this look is that it's absolutely unique to you because it's based upon your eyes. So let's make a start and we can kind of go on. But first, let me show you. It doesn't matter whether you have normal eyes, sad eyes, hooded eyes, wide set eyes, close set eyes, it doesn't matter. All you need is eyes. Get a pencil, or even better, a makeup brush. And what you want to do is you want to imagine an imaginary line going right the way down the face. Okay, and this line is going to go along the outside corner of the eye. So no matter where your eyes are, you want to draw an imaginary line right the way from the outside corner all the way up and all the way down. That is your line, and it's unique to you. Now, the next step is to include a highlight in this line. Now, I tend to favour very wide highlights, because I think that the highlight, the wider it is, the more room I have to kind of highlight. Also, I like to apply blush on the same area that I've highlighted, but it's up to you. But I tend to favour a wide highlight. Now, all you're going to remember is that anything inside that line, you're going to colour. You are not going to colour outside the line. You're not going to bring the colour past this line, at least for this tutorial. Okay, that's it. You can do what you want otherwise, but just for this tutorial, just humour me. So, let's make a start. Now we want to create our highlight. So you create it as wide as you want, but for this section, here's the highlight. And you can see here that this color here is the lightest color you apply to your face. It can be a matte color if you want, or it can be a shimmer color. I tend to favor shimmer on the highlight and then a matte blush kind of on top of it, so that the highlight is still, the highest point of the highlight is still there, but then there's blush too. This is how I tend to favor it, but you can do whatever you want. But just think that this area that we've just created, that you've just seen, this is for your highlight color, and we're going to put blush color over this as well. Okay? Very simple. Now we want to think about contouring, but before I talk about that, let's talk about people's skin coloring. If you have very light skin, let's say NC15 and below, or NW15 and below, it makes more sense that you contour more than you highlight. And if you've got very deep skin, really deep skin, it makes more sense to highlight more than you would contour. So think of it in that. And bear in mind, you don't actually have to contour and highlight. I actually tend to favor just highlighting the skin more than I do contouring it. And if you are an NC girl, and you're thinking, oh my God, you know, I'm NC10, can I really highlight? Just get a very shimmery kind of highlight. Don't use the matte one, and don't bring it so wide. It'll look great. So let's talk about the contour. There's your imaginary line again. Now, underneath the cheekbone is going to be your first area that we contour. And here you go. There it is. So contour down this section. The darkest patch, the darkest bit of this contouring will be at the hairline by the ear, and it kind of bleeds out into nothing. And then the next one will be at the jawline, as you can see. Again, it's darkest at the jawline, right at the back by the ear, and then bleeds away into nothing. Now remember, you're staying within this line. Just try it. It doesn't matter about your eye shape, but just give it a go, see what you think, because I think it's a very sophisticated way of contouring and highlighting your face. We've left the nose out for obvious reasons, because we're talking about the line. Of course, you can go down the sides of your nose and you can highlight the bridge of your nose if you want, but this section really is dealing with this part of the look. Kim Kardashian, as you can see, is famous, at least her makeup artist is, for using this kind of technique. Now there is what we call the Kim Kardashian glow, which is this area of light here. The same principle applies, but all that happens is concealer is brought right the way in at the inner corner and right the way across the eye. Same principle applies with the line, they've just brought it in more. That's the only difference. And you can absolutely do that. I've actually filmed a tutorial of that specifically so you can see what it looks like, because it's quite a hard look to pull off. You've got to be pretty young and pretty flawless to get away with it. But there you go. This is a magic line. Now, just try it. Just try it. Film video responses, but give it a go, because I think once you get the hang of it, it's really a sophisticated way of contouring and highlighting the face. Bye-bye.